you came into the ABA at the same time as George McGinnis. Do you have any George memories that just really stick out to you? I know there are probably so many.
Yeah, the one that really comes to mind most is we were in a basketball game, and at that time shoes didn't last very long, and George was coming down the floor out near the baseline, and he made a cut, and his entire foot came through the sole of the shoe, and the shoe came up over his ankle. That's how hard the cut was. And then as he went into the finish the goal, he went on to finish the goal, and then they had to find out, had to stop play so he could get that shoe off of his foot and get him another shoe back on there so he could keep playing. But George was a specimen when he came in the league. About 275, strong as any of our big men, faster than all of our guards, and could outplay our forwards. So when we look at LeBron James, George was our LeBron James back in the ABA days. Just had the body and physique and could do it all. Can play both ends of the floor. So tremendous athlete.
Would that have been David Craig scrambling to try and find another shoe for George, or what happened?
You pretty much hit it. Or David's hollering at a ball boy. Get back there in that locker room and bring some more shoes out here.
Now, Scott, you met, well, I don't know, maybe you did meet George during his basketball career. What was your first interaction with him, and what's a good memory you have of George McGinnis?
That was easy for me because I never met him. Unlike Darnell, I mean, I'm not sure we've ever told the story publicly before, but Darnell and I first met when I was 10. And I went to the old Washington Square Mall where D was in the service. He had been in the service. He played on an outstanding team overseas for the service, for the Army. Played with Bill Walton, and really showed Bill Walton how to play coming out of high school. But anyway, back then I was a huge Pacer fan. I was 10. I loved the ABA, and I heard that my guy, who was Darnell. It wasn't Roger, it wasn't George, it wasn't Mel. My guy, and it wasn't Billy Keller. My guy was Darnell, and his big afro and his wicked dunks and his smooth coolness. And so I just wanted to be him, you know. So I hated Julius Erving because he played for the bad guys. And he was just like Julius Erving. He just played for the good guys. So I went out to Washington Square Mall to get an autograph because he was doing an autograph for the to promote the Army for recruiting. And I told that story to him after we became friends, you know, through Dropping Dimes. And I'm not sure he totally believed me because he's probably heard that a million times. And I said, man, you were my favorite player. I'm going to prove it because I'm going to bring you the only autograph I have original from back in those days. And it's that because I kept it. And I did, didn't I?
Yep,
I came back in this
did.
yellow sheet of
Yep.
paper with him dunking it and, you know, with the autograph on it. And I asked him to autograph it now because the other autograph was so faded. But so I knew him from a long time. George, I never met in his playing days. I only met him through the Dropping Dimes Foundation. And one of the very first things George did after Mel introduced us and Mel told him that John and I were getting the Dropping Dimes Foundation started is that man, you know, within a year of that, I mean, he joined the advisory board immediately, invited me over to his house to enjoy some of his beautiful wife Linda's cooking, which was unreal, and asked, all he did was talk about what he could do for us. I remember watching a neighbor of his come in who needed some help, and he dropped everything he was doing to help his neighbor. I remember him, I mentioned a few months after that, that I thought that was amazing that it took the NBA so long, or the Naismith Hall of Fame guys so long to put him in the Hall of Fame, and he invited me to join his family to go to the Naismith Hall of Fame to watch his induction. And like, you know, he just was so humble, so kind, so nice, so genuine. It just blew my mind.